Every year at QuakeCon there's a PC case mod competition judged by Modders Inc. Since it would be unfair for the Modders Inc. guys to compete in something they're judging, they have their own competition between themselves. This video is going to show one of the 4 PC cases that the Modders Inc. founders have modded. Check it out. This is James from GameFront, and I'm gathered with Dewayne Carel. He is it the president of ModdersInc.com?
One of the 4 founders of it. So.
One of the 4 founders?
Yeah. If you want to say, like CEO or something.
CEO. But how many years have you guys been at QuakeCon?
As Modders Inc. since 2006.
Oh, cool.
So but the last 3 years have actually been for the case modding contest that we control.
So you guys have been doing, for the past 3 years, a case modding contest with the public, right?
Yes.
And you additionally have a challenge that you put for the founders of the company.
Yeah, so since we can't compete in the case mod contest,
it'd be tough to judge that, yeah.
Exactly, because we know probably who wins, but we don't want to go there. But we decided that we would do that for ourselves. So it's like, okay, let's have a competition against ourselves. But part of the deal is that we would only have a limited time and a limited amount of money to be able to do this. So we figured, 2 months and $250. And that's all we can spend.
So last year you guys did Bethesda games was the theme of the computer modding cases, right?
Yes, it was.
And who was the winner?
Actually, I was.
Convenient.
Yeah, it wasn't rigged, but no, it was. I did the Fallout 3 case.
Oh, it was my favorite also.
Everybody had loved the Pip-Boy.
Yeah, the Pip-Boy sells it.
Yeah, it was a good thing that I locked it down on the top of the case. There was many times when I turned around and people were just grabbing and pulling the case with it. So.
And this year you've put a different one on. It's superheroes, right?
That is correct.
And you have, before we go in, everybody's got the same internal stuff because it's all donated by different people. Can we just get the specs of these computers?
Sure. What it was is Thermaltake's always been a great sponsor for us, and they actually gave us the Urban T81s for the cases, and then the Big Waters, the 3, and they also gave us the DPS 850 watt power supplies. So then after that, we were able to get gigabyte motherboards. And then we've got the Crucial Ballistic Tracers. They gave us those. We got like 16 gigs in each. And then we got the EVGA 760s.
Ooh.
So yeah, not too bad on that.
Not bad at all.
And that's about it. I think. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, we also got the EKWBs. So
and what's that?
That is from overseas. It's a water cooling company. High-end stuff, and they're just bringing their stuff in. So we're helping them introduce that.
Oh, cool.
2 of the cases have that inside of it, and the other 2 have the Thermaltake Big Water 3s.
Great. So what did you do for your case this year? What superhero did you choose?
I'm not a big comic book guy, so I had to kind of base it off the movies a little bit, because that's all I know of. So I decided it was Thor, because I thought it was kind of a challenge. Because, okay, so he's blonde and he has a hammer. What else can I do with that? So I wasn't going to put hair on the case.
the long blowing, flowing, yeah. Get caught in the fan.
Exactly. So I decided it was Thor and incorporated some of the stuff from some of the movies.
Cool. Would you describe some of the things that you put on the case?
Sure. Of course, you got to have the hammer. Yeah, so that's part of that. And then on the other side, I made his chest plate on the front. So I made that because it was pretty much him and had some details in it I wanted to grab in. And then on the other side, where the window was at, I put Loki as he was standing in the cell in the Avengers 2. So he's got all the white background behind him, and he's standing there looking out. So I tried to get some of those details. And then in the front, I incorporated lighting. So you have the hammer with Thor, and then the lightning bolts coming out of that, which flash.
So how did you make the hammer?
The hammer I actually bought.
Oh, you bought the hammer?
I cheated on that.
All right. But that's cool. You still got it. You made it looks like it's custom-made soil on top, or earth, or whatever you want to call that stuff that you sunk the hammer into.
Yeah. So what that is an old movie trick, styrofoam, and I cut it out and made it to the shape that I wanted. And then you can't spray paint directly to styrofoam, because when you do that, it just dissolves and melts. So what I use is some white Elmer's glue. Mix it with water, and then makes like a skin almost, and you paint it over the top of it, and then you're able to spray paint after that.
That's a pretty cool trick.
Yeah, so that cost me, styrofoam was left over from a package of somebody that I got a case from, and Elmer's glue was $3.
Awesome. And how did you do the armor, the chest plate armor?
That, again, went to a hobby place. It's a 12-inch by 24-inch piece of like rubber kind of like a rubber vinyl kind of piece. $1.99. I had to buy like 4 sheets of that. So now we're at what, $8? So now we're at $12, $12 worth of stuff I spent so far.
What was the most difficult part of making your mod?
The most difficult part about making the mod is probably the idea for me was how to blend it in, because I've got 3 different concepts, because one side's Loki, then the hammer, and then you get the other side. So how do you make it seem like it's all one part of the case? It's not separate, and it kind of flows together, which was probably the hard. Making sure that everything looks good together. That's the hard part.
Cool. And what would you give as a tip to people out there that want to get into the modding of their cases? Like, what are some easy tips that people can get involved with it?
The first tip is pick something that you enjoy. So if you want to make a case, like if there's a certain movie or a sports team or something like that, pick that, and then, because you're more likely to finish it. Because if you get into it and you get aggravated or time goes on, you just don't want to finish it, a lot of people will push it to the side. But if it's something that you like and a passion you want to finish, you're going to do it. So don't pick something that's too hard, like, oh, I want to do something from Portal, you know, and you get halfway and you're like, no, I can't do this, and you forget about it. Just something easy, and then you learn as you go along. That's why there's, like us, we have the forums, and on our site we also teach you and how to do certain things. So, and it's always there. You can ask people, and the one thing I tell people, it's a self-expression when you're making these things. It's like when they do hot rods, and there's not a right or wrong way to do things. The way you did it is the right way. If somebody else doesn't like the way you did it, let them show you how they did it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Dwayne, I'm going to start looking at some of the competition.
Let's go for it.
All right.
Click the video in the upper left-hand corner to check out the PC case mods found in the BYOC floor of QuakeCon 2014. The other videos are links to the PC mods done by the founders of Modders Inc. in this year's competition.